Now, we don't have a technology at present to get this free-floating crude oil. And by the way, a lot of it is very thick consistency. Some of it's been described as Vaseline because they cook the lighter elements off with the dispersants. We don't have a technology to go up to a mile deep and get this free-floating oil out. Can we? Yes, I'm sure that that kind of technology can be developed. In a crash course, you can develop something fairly quickly. But you have to have not only the technology, but the equipment, the people that, in place, which we don't have. In addition to that, if you believe Obama and if you believe British Petroleum, essentially it's no longer leaking any oil. Well, they're liars. They've been liars from day one. The best way to tell whether they're lying is, are their lips moving? Now, there are every indication that the oil continues to flow out in multiple sites from the seabed. What they did is they drilled into the side of a giant salt dome. It was a very dangerous place to drill, but potentially highly profitable. They screwed it up, and everything they've done since has made matters considerably worse. So we're in a hell of a pickle. Is there a technological methodology that could be used to do something? Possibly. But you're getting into some really top secret stuff, cellular warfare. There may be some ways with a cellular beam to fine tune and hit a broad area and vibrate certain molecules of the oil and change some of the properties. That's a big if, and nobody will talk about that. The whole area of cellular warfare is forgotten, and it's one of those things that officially doesn't exist. So conceivably, there might be a technological solution, but it's not a technological solution that they're apt to use or talk about. So essentially, the question becomes, will we continue to see the degradation of this heat conveying system because we're past the threshold level in terms of affecting it? And it looks like we will. I don't know how long, but there's every indication, if the oil's still leaking, and two, if there's anywhere near that much, probably we will for quite some time. If that's the case, then I would say we're headed towards an ice age. If we are headed towards an ice age, there are different scenarios that could play themselves out. We know historiologically from data that there's been at least a couple different scenarios. One was very similar to the movie The Day After Tomorrow, where you saw the upper atmosphere descend to the earth and you saw a quick freeze. I mean, we've cut up mastodons that were literally quick frozen. They were 4 times the size of an African elephant. They were literally quick frozen, and they had green vegetation in their stomachs. Things changed that quickly. Is that going to happen this time? We have no idea. There's also the scenario that it could be 3, maybe 5 or so years. But during that time period, you could get some pretty wild fluctuations in heat and cold and a gradual mess. So you don't have a quick freeze, you don't have the day after tomorrow scenario, but you get increasing glaciarization and it begins to drop more and more. Is that going to happen? Well, I don't know. But my guess would be maybe that scenario may play itself out more apt than the quick freeze. But that's more guess than anything, okay?
It's just amazing that, the U.S. administration and the CIA and so forth, and these people are allowing this to happen. I mean, it's a matter of national security.
Well, it may be a matter of national security, but I think they realize they screwed up. And I think they're in a panic mode. I think Matt Simmons may have been assassinated because in one of his last comments, he said that the Gulf oil disaster has killed the loop current. He supposedly died of a heart attack in a hot tub, but he was the top insider that was spilling the beans on the Obama administration and British Petroleum. So, you know, if you think David Kelly killed himself with a butter knife, but there was no blood, and you buy that line of crap, well, you'll buy the line of crap about Matt Simmons. Matt Simmons was whacked just like Dr. Kelly was. But you know, this is very serious. And here's the thing: the powers that be, including the mainstream media, and I've taken it to a couple leading London papers, and I've dealt with London newspapers for over a quarter of a century on and off. I know when they're interested. I spoke to a assistant editor at the Independent some time back. He got all fired up. We want the story, and then they didn't. At a high level, it's being set on. They can sit on it, but they can't sit on Mother Nature. And what you're seeing in Europe right now with this early onset of winter, it's just beginning. They can't stop this. They created a nightmare by their corruption, and it's not going to go away. The real question is, how fast will it come on us? And I don't control that. And they can kill me, they can kill a few other people, but it's not going to stop the story. The story's out there, and too many people can add 2 and 2 up and get 4.
The Earl of Stirling, thank you very much for your time.
Well, thank you. I hope you do some good with this. I think it's very important that we get this story out. I think at the very least, people need to prepare for what may be coming. I live in southwestern Indiana. The last ice age, we didn't get a glacier on us, but a few miles north of here it stopped. The city of Indianapolis, what became the city of Indianapolis, had 1 mile solid ice. What became the city of New York had 3 miles of solid ice on it. In the United Kingdom, and I do, you know, the title is Scottish in my ancestry, a lot of it. The United Kingdom and Ireland will, as well as the Scandinavian countries, will be the first to suffer, and they will suffer quickly. The question will be, how quick will their ability to grow food crops cease, and how quick will the glaciarization begin? And I think that's a very serious question. These clowns at British Petroleum and the Obama administration did something that I certainly never suspected that they would be capable of doing, and that is they actually screwed up the whole planet.
Thank you.
And just coincidentally, I mean, this was at a key spot. The loop current is a key spot in this whole thermal regulatory system. And they screwed it up, and they kept screwing it up, and they're still screwing it up. They're not dealing with the issue. There could be some technical solutions. I just touched on one. There may be some other technical solutions, but we need to be working on them, and we need to be dealing with it honestly